Hey, mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to week 4 of our Declutter Your Life series. Over the past few weeks, we've been clearing out our closets, we've been simplifying our homes, letting go of the things that are no longer serving us, and getting our spaces ready for summer so that we can actually relax, be present, and really focus on making those amazing memories with our families. Because when your home feels calm, your mind feels calm, at least for me. When your closet makes you smile instead of stressing you out, your mornings, they're going to feel easier. And when everything has a place, you stop wasting time searching for things and you really just start enjoying life more. But today, we're going even deeper because there's one area most of us forget to declutter. It's something that we don't even think about that's actually creating more overwhelm than the stuff in your house. And it's your digital clutter, your inbox, your download folders, your desktop, your photos on your phone, those random files that are just everywhere. And if you're anything like me, you open up your email and you immediately feel behind. You search for a file and you can't find it. Your phone storage is full and you have to delete stuff, or your computer desktop looks like a digital confetti exploded. So today I'm bringing back one of the best conversations from the archives with digital organizing expert Shawn Lemon, because these two episodes are going to help you clean up your digital life. They're going to help you save time. They're going to help you reduce your overwhelm and really create systems that make everything just feel so much lighter. Because here's the thing, just like physical clutter, digital clutter, it can really drain your time, your energy, and seriously, your overall productivity without you even realizing it. And this is not just gonna help you at home, it's gonna help you at work too. I took all the things I've learned from Shawn and I've implemented them everywhere. Think of this as time management on a whole new level because when your digital world is organized, everything else just feels smoother. In part one of our conversation, we're tackling the one thing that haunts most of us, that haunts me daily, our email inboxes. And if the thought of hitting inbox zero seems impossible, or if you've got thousands of unread emails just sitting there like me, don't worry. Shawn's got a system that's going to make our lives so much easier. So let's jump into this week's throwback interview with Shawn Lemon. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work, time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, a mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being so intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. With us today is Shawn Lemon, the founder of The Digital Organizer. He spent the last 17 years helping individuals and businesses get better at using their technology. A teacher at heart, Shawn believes the biggest reason people struggle with their tech is because of the lack of understanding of the tools, which isn't surprising because they're constantly changing as technology advances. When not helping homes and businesses operate more efficiently, Shawn loves making pottery, riding motorcycles, and spending time with his wife, Madeline, and their 2-year-old son, Nico. Well, welcome to the show, Shawn. I know I just did a bio, but I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into digital organization.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, Carrie. I'm excited to talk to you. So, I started all this through a career at the Apple Store. So, I taught people for almost 7 years how to use their tech. And people would be so excited to buy this new Mac, get their data transferred from their PC, get started, and book a session to learn this new computer with me. And then they would open it up and see that the mess that was on their PC just got transferred onto their new Mac. And a lot of people were really overwhelmed with that mess and couldn't even learn a good system while they were in the middle of that mess. And so people started asking me to come and help them clean up and take care of things at a deeper level because no one else was doing it. And so I sidelined for a bit until finally 11 years ago now, I left to do this full time. And yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
That's a pretty cool start. So, today we want to get into how to really organize your digital files. And since you've worked with so many people helping them get this part of their life under control, something a lot of people don't even think about, how does having your digital files and your emails organized help with your overall productivity?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, our emails and our files are where we're doing a lot of our work. And when that's disorganized, when we can't find things easily, then that is slowing us down all throughout the day. So it's creating a lot of friction, but it's also creating a lot of frustration all throughout the day. And what kills creativity faster than being frustrated with something or gets you out of the flow when you can't find it or makes you anxious because you're looking for this for your next meeting? It's not there. You're scrambling and then you don't show up your best for the meeting. If you can't find what you're looking for, it's not a great environment to work in. And so we're here to really help smooth out the the friction or reduce the friction of working throughout the day because how we spend our days is how we spend our lives.
That is totally true. So, where do you suggest people start? Do you start with your emails? Do you start with your files?
So usually it's emails, but I really encourage people to take the quiz on our website, which is how organized are you? And so we ask a whole bunch of questions to figure out how effective your organization systems are, or how effective is it to find your files or your current system to find them. And that can often give you a good starting place because whichever item or whichever category is the one that's creating the most stress, that's usually the place that we need to start. Because if we can eliminate that and give you some breathing room and more time back and just more mental clarity to work on the next thing, then we can really build momentum and snowball. But usually it's email because it's so overwhelming for most people.
I'm laughing because I have 4 different email accounts. I have my
Yeah.
work one, which I won't even
Hmm.
get into work. Then I have my Yahoo one, which I've had since college that
Sure.
I basically had to give up on because I think I'm at 99,999 unread emails. So I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
let's start fresh." So then I have my side business one and then my new personal Gmail one, which is now starting to get out of control. So for someone like me that probably has over 1,000 unread emails in my
Yeah.
personal inbox. Like, the people that can get their emails to 0 a day
Uh-huh.
is
Hmm.
I envy those people, but for people like me that are drowning in email clutter, like, where do you suggest I start?
Declare email bankruptcy.
I know, just start fresh again.
It's not necessarily starting fresh with a new account. Now, a Yahoo that you've had since college days that's completely overrun, I mean, that may be a little hard to get under control.
I've given up on
But
that one.
yeah, but we've got a pretty systematic process, and that's usually starting with picking a cutoff date if we've got a lot of unread emails and say everything after this point I'm going to archive. We don't have to delete it. We're giving ourselves permission not to go through and try and sort 30,000 emails. It's not worth your time. So we've got to pick a cutoff date and say if I need it and I know what I'm looking for, the search function works pretty well in our email. So let's get rid of that. That way we can focus on a manageable chunk of emails to actually get through. And once we get to that point, the starting place is get rid of the subscriptions. Now, a lot of people have tried that by, unsubscribing or using the unsubscribe button in the Gmail interface that supposedly will do it for you. But the thing is, most people don't wait for that page to actually load and then see that you're on 10 different lists and you're only unsubscribing from the one. And so it feels like I'm unsubscribing, but it doesn't work. It does, but sometimes you're just on multiple lists. And so we just have to be kind of thorough. So if we can get through that list and slow the tide, then all we're left with are emails that we actually want, communication from real people, receipts, and I would love for you to be ruthless in your subscriptions and only keep the ones that you actually read and add value to you and go overboard on it. You can always subscribe again later if you truly miss it. That slows things down. Once you're at that point, you can start triaging your email and doing this thing called snoozing, which is I'm going to choose different times of the day or week that are best for the types of emails I need to respond to. And so you snooze an email for a time that can pop back in your email at the appropriate day and time for you to deal with it. And that's how people get to inbox zero because there's no way to truly answer every email every day. We don't have the information, we don't have the time or resources or whatever it is.
I love that. I am totally gonna try I'm gonna attempt to implement that. Right now, I do time blocking, and I say, "Okay, within this time block, I'm gonna go
Uh
back
huh.
to my emails and try to address them," but then
Yes.
I go to my inbox and it's so overwhelming that I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I get to 2," and as I'm scrolling,
And then you get
Like,
distracted and the whole
yes,
thing happens. And then,
absolutely.
yeah, the time chunking is great, but if you're not using that time efficiently, then it's still not doing what it truly can and be, life changing when you start time blocking if you do it, if you've got the other systems in place. So since you want to implement this, I actually have a free thing that I'm going to give away today, which is a household organization guide. So if you struggle with trying to find things that your spouse may have, or you're or sharing things back and forth, figuring out your calendars, shared calendars for the household, you can go and download that guide. When you do that, I'm going to send you a few emails, and the first few are actually about email. So, declaring email bankruptcy, getting rid of the subscriptions, using automation tools. So, I'm just going to give you the process of how you can clean this up and make it really easy.
Oh,
So,
I'm
check out the
excited.
show notes for that link.
I am excited about that. So, sticking with email, do you actually set up files within your email inbox and organize it there, or
Mhm.
are you into files there, or everything's on the computer?
I am anti folders in email. I
Wow.
do
Tell
not
me how
like
you do.
organizing email.
Either do I. I hate it.
I think it's a waste of time in most cases. There are outliers out there, so if you're one of those people, great, but the majority of you are not. And you really don't need to organize an email because the thing is, if we're getting a file or anything that we need to keep and save somewhere, it should not be saved in email. It needs to go in your file system. Or if it's a task that needs to get done, but you can't do it right now, it needs to go in some sort of task manager or project manager so that it can come back and you can work on it when you're working on that project. So email should just be a communication tool. So I've got a folder for newsletters, things that I actually read, and those filter out of my inbox. They never even hit my inbox. They go straight to a folder. And then all of the financial stuff, either receipts, bank statements, all of that stuff gets filtered into my financial folder automatically. So my inbox is just communication. And yeah, no other filing needed for most people.
Wait, are you saying that you can have your emails set up that they go directly into a folder on your computer?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the emails I'll send you if you sign up for that household organization guide. So the tool that we like to use most is called SaneBox. It's a paid tool. There are ways that you can do it for free with Gmail and other types of filters, but even though I know how to do all that, I just want the convenience of drag this email, I get added to a new subscription, I want to keep it, I move it into the later folder, and at that point it's always going to be sent to the later folder.
Wow, you just blowing my mind. I am this year, one of my goals is automate as much as I can to free up as much time as I can. So
Yes.
another one of my current struggles
Mhm.
is the difference of I use Microsoft Office Suite
Yep.
on my personal, I use it at my corporate job, but on my business, everything's Google because
Mhm.
it's just how I interface with everyone. So how what are your suggestions or tips on that? Because I really do wanna set up a nice file system at home, but then I have some stuff on Google, and I
Right.
how do I navigate both of those worlds?
Well, the thing that most people are missing about Google Drive is that they have an app that you can install on your computer just like Dropbox and OneDrive have. So you can install the Google Drive for Desktop app and sync everything that's in Google Drive to your computer so that it's just another folder on your computer to navigate. So if you're using Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, you can create that document in the Office suite and then save it to the Google Drive folder that you dedicate for your presentations that you're making, your client files, or whatever it is that you're doing. So
I'm
by
learning
doing
so
that,
much.
what's that?
I said, "I am learning so much."
Good. Yeah, so that's just a huge piece that frustrates so many people about Google is you have to go through this web interface and it's not clear of things that have been shared with you and everything. It's like once you actually break down how Google Drive works in the different sections, it's actually really clear and a great system. But someone usually needs to have to explain to you the thought process around how Google Drive works, and then just open your eyes to the fact that it can work just like Dropbox and it's just a normal old filing system, just like anything else.
That's so awesome. I feel like I have so much learning to do. So now talking about personal files, where
Yeah.
do we start with with setting up this beautiful system that you've created that I know I did download your freebie. And so anyone listening, you don't have to take notes because it's all there. But how do you where do you start? How do you set it up?
Yeah. So I like to start by figuring out what's the right platform that I should use for these files. So, in the household organization guide, it's if you are trying to create a folder structure to share with other people in your house, what is the common platform? It's almost always Google, but you may have something else, in which case, which one works for you? And then that's where we need to consolidate all of our files to. So if we're going to dedicate your personal Gmail account to your personal file structure, then we just need to download everything or grab it from all of the different folders and just get it into Google Drive first. Consolidate is milestone number one. The second milestone is purging. Let's delete all of the things that just from a quick cursory glance, we know we don't need. So you're just trying to purge really quickly and get through this process as fast as possible. Next, what are the things that you want to keep, but aren't things that you're likely going to look for with any sort of regularity? And we want to archive those, put them in a folder just called archive or something else, the closet, deep storage, the deep freezer, whatever way. So you don't have to organize all of that stuff right away.
The attic of your computer?
Yes, exactly, the attic. And then what we're left with are all of the files that are actually current that you would access regularly that you might want to share with other people. And that's going to be a really small subset of everything that you've got. Now it's much easier to figure out how should I organize this in a way that I can find it easily. And so then we create some new folders and we move things into those folders and when we pick a naming convention so that we can search for things or we can just stumble through files by double clicking.
So I saw one of the categories that I didn't even think to put on the computer are important documents. And actually
Uh-huh.
we were just upping our life insurance
Yep.
and we needed all these important documents and we're like,
Yeah.
where are they? We know we have some here, we know we have some
Hmm.
there. And then I saw that a lot of them are suggested to put on your computer. So
Hmm.
I guess my main concern is the security
Yeah.
and keeping things safe. So how does that work?
Yeah. So number one, we've got to make sure we use strong passwords. So you can't use fluffy123 for your Gmail account. Email a lot of people, they wanna make an easy password for their email account because they use it so frequently, but that's the gateway to reset all of your passwords, and a lot of us are storing our files in the cloud system that's attached to our email account, like Google Drive and Gmail. So we've gotta use a strong password that we can keep track of, and I like to use a password manager because there's no way I could keep track of a bunch of strong, complicated passwords. This day, like in age, you just need a password manager or you're really missing out. And then we want to enable two-step verification so that even if you guessed my password, you're still not going to get into my account because you don't have the two-step verification code. So that keeps it locked down. And then keep a good password on your computer. And like on the Mac, there's automatic encryption using File Vault. So if you stole my Mac, you could erase it and still use it, but you're never going to get any of my files because you don't know my password. So, simple encryption that's just built into the operating system, a good password, use two-step verification on your cloud accounts.
What password app do you recommend?
I love 1Password. So it's the number one, no space, and the word password afterward. It's beautiful, it's easy to use, it's cheap, and it works really well.
So I think I use LastPass because I have a
Uh-huh.
terrible memory, but I will fully admit I don't have the best passwords because I also want it to be something that I remember.
Yeah.
Do you create your own or do you use the function where it creates some like crazy 20 letter number or symbol?
Yeah, yeah. I let it create crazy passwords for me. And I've
Yeah.
been doing it since, I don't know, probably 2010. So at first, it was, I need to learn how to trust this. So I installed it, I set it up, and you really need to take your time setting it up to make sure it's fully set up. Otherwise, it just creates more friction. So don't do it unless you're going to like do it. So make sure to set some time aside if you're going to set up a tool like this. And once you do it, put your passwords into it that you're currently using. Once you know you can trust it, then go back and start changing the passwords for the most critical accounts to long generated passwords. That way you're securing your bank, your email accounts, and other things like that.
It's funny because I have a terrible memory, so I forget my LastPass password all the time, so much that
Hmm.
I told my husband, I'm like, "You need to put my LastPass password in your LastPass, so that way when I forget mine, I could just go to you and you can tell me
Yes.
what my password is," and that happens way too much, way too much.
Now, that changes if you fully commit to using it because you're using it daily. You're logging into it multiple times a day. If I leave my computer, go have lunch, come back to it, it's going to make me unlock one password again. So I'm typing that password. So my one password is long and complicated, but I can type it so fast because it's muscle memory.
Oh,
All of
so
us
y
can type our name almost instantly, yet you might be slower typing other things. It's that way with the one password account.
so do you have it on your desktop too? Not just on
Yeah,
your
it's an app that's installed on my computer. And then it's an extension installed in Chrome and Safari. And then I have it installed on my phone and it's integrated with my keyboard. The extension is set up in Safari. And then there's just a dedicated app that I could go into as well. So no matter where I am, one password will usually autofill for me.
That's awesome. I only have it on my phone, I didn't even know you could do it on your your
You do,
desktop.
and that's why you're getting locked out is because you haven't gone all the way, so you really wanna install the app on your computer and get those extensions installed in your web browsers, and then if you're on a Mac with Safari, you need to turn off autofill from, Safari's built-in password saver. That way, 1Password or LastPass isn't competing with something else, and then things get confusing.
I can't wait to get into all this.
Good.
This is a great place for us to pause today, but trust me, you're going to want to come back for part two. Tomorrow, we're diving into something just as important: decluttering your computer files and setting up a simple, organized system that actually works. If your downloads folder is a black hole, or you can never seem to find the files you need, Sean is breaking down exactly how to fix that without spending hours sorting through a hot mess. Plus, we'll cover smart ways to scan and store important documents, digital security tips, and how to finally get rid of that paper clutter for once and for all. So make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss it. And before you go, if you want to check out Sean's websites and grab that awesome freebie he has for us to help us start our digital organization today, make sure you check out the show notes for the links. See you tomorrow for part two. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes, and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories, and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.